Okay, this is attempt number 278 to get my shit together and reset my life. So, I'm gonna skip most of the content of today's video and get back into it tomorrow. And you know how this goes by this point. But this time for real, for sure. I've thought it through, so it's gotta happen. One thing I will say though, well, a couple things. First of all, Amanda got back to me with some fresh decorations for the exterior of the buildings in Act 2. So I'll have some of that to show off tomorrow. On top of that, hopefully I'll finish up. Well, I'll definitely finish the balancing, not the balancing, but the enemy placements and stuff for level 2-5, Act 2 level 5, and hopefully, if not coming up with a fresh idea, at least experimenting with what I want to do for the special level in Act 2. Now, the one other thing I wanted to quickly mention was, I was thinking about some of the, I've been talking like the past couple of days about like the couple of negative reviews that I got on the game and what I was thinking about in terms of the feedback, and is there really anything I can change to win people over like this? I think they just fundamentally dislike the nature of the game and stuff like that, and I think for the most part, I stick by that. However, the more I thought about it, the more I was thinking there is this like subtle issue that I have been dealing with where when you're aiming in the game, your mouse cursor detaches from where your dash is going to land. So there's like two separate cursors. And I have noticed that I myself, when I'm playing sometimes, a lot of the time when I screw up a dash and I fall short of an enemy or something, I was mentally focused on where the mouse cursor is, which can often be way off on the side, and not really noticing where the dash is, which was very clearly not targeting the enemy and was right in front of it. But with the pace of how everything happens, I can see how easily most people won't even notice that. So that is a problem. And I tried dealing with that while developing over the past few months by fading out the mouse cursor so that it doesn't draw your attention as much, and hopefully your attention is drawn to the brighter like dash marker cursor. But then the problem with that is it's easy to lose sight of where your mouse cursor is. So then when, let's say, you're aiming all the way to the right and you need to swing your mouse back, your dash marker is stuck to the right. And you're kind of expecting that when you move your mouse to the left, it's going to like swing back to the left, but it doesn't because your mouse cursor is all the way out here. So you have to bring it back all the way, but you kind of like lost sight of it. So it just feels like, what the hell? Like, why is my mouse not moving to the left? So that happens sometimes instead. So it's kind of like finicky like that. And I was thinking about how that could be, I don't know, one of the things that could be like tripping people up or creating those kinds of feelings of frustration, I guess. Again, I'm not convinced at all that this is the kind of thing that will drastically change a person's opinion from not wanting to play it anymore to being a huge fan of it. But still, I think it's something worth looking into because I would very much like to clean up all possible issues like that. And I was even going so radical as to think like, what if I made the whole game more like when you play on a gamepad, it does a lot of auto targeting, and you don't even have to auto target. Like, you can also play in a way where you just dash in the direction that you're moving. So I was thinking like, well, what if I even just simplified it completely like that? And yeah, I don't know. Like, maybe the game would be more fun. Maybe if it was less fixated on the precision part, and instead it's more about your positioning and your speed of reaction time, to just remove one element like that. I don't know. I think the thing is though, is like the aiming and the swinging your mouse around, to me, is a big part of what makes it feel like kind of like satisfying in a badass way, where it's recreating the feeling of like swinging a sword back and forth. So I'm not a huge fan of the idea of removing that entirely. But I feel like there might be some hidden away method here that I could make that work better. And yeah, and then the one other idea I had was, right now, when you put your mouse over enemies and they're within your attack range, they highlight. But the highlight, especially when you're in the middle of combat and everything's happening super fast, isn't super bright or super noticeable. And yeah, so I was just thinking, maybe, and just in general, instead of actually, no, I don't even know if that would really help that much. What I was thinking about is maybe making it so it's just way more brighter and like really obvious, and also making it so it's not even dependent on enemies being like on your mouse cursor, but just as soon as any enemy is within range of you, like within your dash range and the radius around you, light all of them up. So you just always know which enemies are attackable at any given time versus not. But I was just thinking still though, if you have the problem with like the mouse cursor tripping you up, it's not necessarily going to help if you feel like you should have hit the guy when you didn't. But then I was also thinking like maybe I could make it so that if a guy's highlighted when you start an attack, no matter what, because this is another precision thing I did, is I could make it so that no matter what, if a dude's highlighted when you start that attack, you're guaranteed to hit him. Because right now it's not like that. Technically, the game, everything is calculated in real time, so a guy could step out of the way at the last possible second as you're finishing a dash and you end up missing it. So there are like little things like that. Maybe if I combine all these different ideas, I can like perfect the feeling of that and make it feel more fair, I guess, for people who find the level of precision currently required too frustrating. I don't know. Again, still mostly not convinced that it'll drastically change anyone's mind, but for the people who do like the game, I think it'd be another good step forward to clean up all the weird little intricacies like that can happen just because of the fast-paced nature of the game. Okay, see you tomorrow.